Good world, good morning Africa, good morning Nigeria. I go by the name Seth Freeman and I introduce you to this session. We all welcome you to our podcast channel. Like and subscribe. We have our very best. He goes by the name Al Shabazz.
And the Dey Your Dey.
You know, I'd like to give you the privilege to actually introduce yourself. I'm intrigued. Can you tell me more about this Al Shabazz and how you came about this name? Yeah, it's kind of interesting, you know. So can you just tell me about your
Quite a catchy name. Shabazz. I got that name from my lifetime.
It's a catchy name. Okay.
El Hajj Malik El Shabazz Malcolm X.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's a black
That's a revolutionary.
Yeah. Black American activist.
Yeah, an activist, a Black Panther.
Yeah.
We all know. Religion has actually played roles in lives of people in Africa and beyond. But we would like to emphasize more on our locality. That's where we find ourselves as Africa, Nigeria in particular. We'd like to talk about the impact of how and to what extent has religion been beneficial for we black people or Africans, if I'm to say, on our lives and what they've taught us and how far they've brought us to this particular point in time. So I would like to pose this question because it's been bothering me. Is, you know, we had gods, we had people our ancestors looked up to and worship and prayed to for problems when they are in, you know, hard times, ailments, and all those things. They had deities. They believed in the supernatural. They believed there was something above them, higher power. You know, they had this belief before Christianity and Islam came. You know what we have to say about the effect of religion in Africa.
Thank you very much for that question.
Thank you.
With enough respect to my big brother.
Me too. Me too.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm listening to me.
Oh my God. It's a very
my big
interesting
brother Lucky
section.
Dube. He said something.
Okay. That's a big brother. That's a father to me. Lucky Dube.
Going back to my roots. Yeah. Do you know what it means? Going back to my roots. You mentioned something very interesting in your question. We forgot our roots in Africa. You can imagine a tree that forgot its roots. What is the fate of that tree? That is the effect of what we see as religion in Africa. Africa had a foundation, not religion. Africa had something it did, you know, to connect to divinity, to understand its nature, its environment, and itself, the inhabitants of this part of the world. But how did we lose that? How come? Why did we find ourselves here? I asked myself too, if we were doing that from inception we were doing, where would we have been now? I guess it would have been better. I believe so. You know why?
Why?
Because they'll be greed. Someone to be coming to take mine.
Okay.
And greed will not make me angry to kill. Greed will not bring rifts between brothers. That greed will now boil it up. Don't be grieved. You know, in the African culture and tradition, we had our own style. That's what we run our thing.
Don't be lying.
We get our own. But for the fact, say, things can happen unto from the slave trade, they go that way, they come back. They look my grandmothers, my ancestral grandmothers. They collect them, marry them by force. They can't give me half brothers. Carry them, make them, maybe they rule me. For their own interests. Greed. I did that before them.
Deep. It's deeper than rap.
Now my own. That my grandmama where you give belle, she no marry with her mind.
It was forced into
Because of your greed. I don't blame you, Sha, the white, the very man who do me this thing.
So
You know why I blame? Now that my greedy brother, when they wake up, they do.
Okay. So you're saying
We
our
sold our own
ancestors.
people.
So you're saying our ancestors.
We sold ourselves out.
Yeah.
We sold our culture, our tradition. Don't forget, recently there were artifacts that have been returned to the Benin Kingdom.
Yes. I'm aware of that as well.
Going back to the roots. When you lost your roots, you will wither. Imagine a pot with a plant that you expect to become a tree. And that's a plant on a normal land. You can compare which will become a tree. Even if eventually nature gives the one in the pot chance to become a tree, what is the possibility of it going through the pots into the normal ground? Because it has lost its contact with nature.
So it won't be as fresh as
There will be no space.
It is not
They cut off.
the origin,
we lost our
religion,
our original self,
your
our original
environment,
system of consciousness.
your nature, and you.
Damn.
Religion, your environment, your nature, and you.
It has to be a connection. So that means we've lost connection with that particular element
With our
of
nature, we've lost connection because our ancestors went back to the melanated foundation that we have.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not nice at all.
Yeah.
They were here before us.
They knew. They had
They
more
knew,
information than us.
We met them here.
Okay.
They're there now before us, waiting for us. That's why it's been given from generation to generation.
So you're saying, in other words, it's an hypothesis. There's no rub. You're saying the pre-colonials, our colonials that came in to colonize us and give us this idea of religion, regardless of the kind of religion they brought. Islam, Judaism, Christianity, regardless of the religion they brought. Are you saying in the system of imposing their new religion, they destroyed our ancient religion? Is that what you're saying?
It's obvious.
That's very obvious.
It's very obvious.
So
Get this right. Religion itself, it helps in creating an ethical framework. I told you. It's like a backbone.
It is a backbone.
But the
It's a way of
purpose
life.
of religion is another problem. Being jealous is okay. But why are you jealous?
You have to have a reason why.
Is it negative? Is it positive? The religion that is said that exists in humanity, it is good. Religion is good. But what purpose is it to you? And that purpose determines the relationship between the human, the nature, and your environment. That is why today you see sickness that can survive down there. When it gets to my melanated soil, it dies.
I like that. This is very interesting because we're talking about Africa, which is the mother place, the motherland. We're talking about Africa, which is the motherland, which bets almost all the knowledge of today. And come to think of it, they can't tell me the motherland that bets knowledge, her children don't have a system of communication. We have a system of communication. We have our local dialects, as we call it. We have our languages, we have our cultures, we have our traditions. And they want to tell me that in this particular time of the year that we don't have a system of writing, of conveying message. An African man or a Yoruba man or Hausa, Igbo, Chui, Zulu, Baba, name it, African, be you African, regardless of the language you speak, you don't have a system for you to convey message right without you borrowing Latin text like ABC, ABD, without you borrowing Latin text to represent what you are saying. That thing baffles me a lot because why I'm making emphasis to this? because I respect Ethiopia a lot. Ethiopia came to Ethiopia with so many things, but they preserved themselves, to the extent that till today they have a system of conveying their message in their own natural text. And they didn't accept any religion from the West or from the East. So are you saying now, or are we saying
those
now
ones go to hellfire?
that they will go to hellfire, or they will go to hellfire for not accepting the West religion or the East religion? And why would they go to hellfire if that's a question? That's a question, sir. But the main question is, or the main talk or topic is, why is it that the Christians or the Muslims that came before eliminated those knowledge of ours to convey message? I know now the Islam, I know the Muslims won't do that, because had it been they did that, had it been they tampered with our system of writing, we would have been writing with Arabic text.
Yeah.
But now, if I want to write my language,
I think
They
it's
want-
Islamic
they want to- they want to-
They did though.
if I want to write my language, I would have to write it in Latin text, either English or name it, but Latin text, alphabet, ABC, all those things. I would have to in Latin text. Do you agree or disagree to what I'm saying? I'm saying religion made a negative impact on Africans that accepted it. Do you agree to that then, or no, made a negative impact?
In Africa,
Yes.
that's the worst thing that has happened to Africa. The practice of another man's religion, not religion itself. Because Africa has its own religion. Religion is not the scapegoat here. The purpose of religion is the scapegoat here. We are trying to dissect the purpose of religion. If I'm doing the purpose of my own religion, what do you think I'll be like?
Wait, sorry. Do you practice any religion? Are you practicing? Do you practice?
I have a foundational religion in Africa.
What's that? Can we know what you practice?
Have you heard of Kemets?
Kemet. I know the Kemet. I know Kemet. Kemet. That's a very old religion, the black religion. That's the.
You just mentioned it.
The religion that evolved from now today's Sudan. That's the Lower Egypt.
You just said it.
The Lower Egypt. That's.
If it
Queen
is
of
false,
Queen of Sheba.
if it is false,
Queen of
it
Sheba.
is from my foundation.
Okay.
If it is true, it is from my foundation. Nobody knows it all. We are all brought into it. So you need to know
so
your
why
foundation.
why didn't you follow? If you're talking about foundation now, I like this. You're talking about foundation. So by foundation, I know you're an African, you're West African, a Nigerian, and a Nigerian and Easterner by that to be precise. So in the East, I believe the Igbos they have a deity who they worship.
Chuko Kike Abiama.
Thank you very much.
Call him that.
Thank you very much. So now, why didn't you go for their formation name? Why did you go for Kemet? That's like thing is. What you're saying is
Sorry, let me interject here. You see, when you start understanding spirituality and religion,
thank you very much.
you will know that
There's no borderline.
there is no borderline. Why? Because spirituality has no
Boundaries.
No, not boundaries. It has no definite process or
Limits.
saying that if you don't do it this way, you will not get these results.
If you do it this way, you get what you do.
Spirituality
It
is
pays according
in
to what
you.
you do.
What works for you might not work for me.
Okay.
The way I relate with divinity should not even be the way you relate to divinity. If it should be, then somebody is cheating somebody. If you are my slave and I teach you to pray to my God, and we are praying to the same God, God, let my slave obey me. And you, my slave, is saying, God, let my master die. What is he going to answer?
Okay. That's a big one. Okay. But you're still praying to the same
Preach on.
Pardon?
You're still praying to the same God.
God? If you come into God, I don't know if you have a God. How does he look like? Please tell me how your God looks like. If you have one.
I don't know.
He looks like us. He looks like God.
I look like God.
We look like God.
We look like God.
Yes.
Then we are God. Wow! God, you're here. I like that. You're here, God. I'm with God. We are God.
God.
With him, I really enjoyed my time in the studios with Papi Chulo. Has been fun.
Yeah, my brother.
And I've been with Monday as well. It's been a fun run in the
At least
studio.
we have been educated.
We've been told quite a number of things that we've been talking to ourselves, and why we emphasize on Africa, because I think we've been outplayed. We've been stigmatized for a couple of years, and I think we need to wake up and find back our roots, because now I think the Asians are way ahead of us, because few numbers, but they still believe in their traditional system, and I don't see no reason why we would abolish our traditional system and see what we do, what our forefathers, our ancestors did and survived, and created a world for us before the colonial masters came and took the world away from us as evil or bad. So it's been a fun ride. And I think I believe you all out there would have picked one or two things. Just make sure you subscribe and like our channel, because we'll be hitting you guys with more things. Believe me, man. Believe me when I say more things, because I got Chulo,
Africa unite,
and I got Al Shabazz in the house.
We are going to our motherland.
And you know how it is.
Guess what?
It's
I've never had.
Day Your Day.
Day your fucking
I've never
day.
had this. Check this out, bro.
It's your Day Your Day, man.
Let's check this guy out. Have you ever had
It's the
Mama
Day Your
Europe?
Day
Have you
show.
ever had Mama Europe, my mom from America? What do you hear?
Nah, it's Mama Africa.
Mama Africa!
It's been a fun ride in the studio. We hope to see you all next time, same place next week. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. It's Day Your Day, and you know how we do. I did my day. Show you Day Your Day. I did your day.
I know they.
I know they.